8 seconds. In bareback riding, that's all it takes. 8 seconds to qualify. Fall off even a tenth of a second too soon and go home empty-handed. Such a small amount of time, but for Stetzen Stoddard, 8 seconds was all it took to drastically alter his life.
You know, he would be a world champion. He would be one of my toughest competitors today. And I know that, and I know that he would be wearing a gold buckle.
You could say rodeo was in Stetzen's blood. Stoddard and all 5 of his brothers and sisters competed in the National High School Rodeo Finals. For this family, riding is a way of life.
I think there's a lot of pressure. Stetson always wanted to do everything that his older brother didn't do, and his older brother did about every event too, so that was hard. And the 2 younger boys, it was really tough on y'all.
When his amateur days came to a close, Stetzen took his riding to the pro circuit. In 2003, 20-year-old Stetzen was close to becoming a world champion in bareback riding. Sitting second in the standings, his next rodeo took place at the Atomic Days in Arco, Idaho. Leading up to the competition, Stetzen had an uneasy feeling and decided this would be the last time he rode bareback for a while. What he didn't know is this ride would be the last time he'd ever compete in rodeo. Knocked unconscious as Stetzen falls off, the horse bucks and kicks the cowboy in the back of the head. In just 8 seconds, Stetzen Stoddard went from competing for a title to fighting for his life.
I can honestly tell you, I was pretty sure he wouldn't live. You know, he had a million tubes going everywhere in him. He was on life support. It was, I can honestly tell you, in my mind, I really didn't think he would live.
It's terrible. It's the most terrible thing a parent has to go through. Nobody should ever have to go through that.
First they told us put him in a nursing home and go home and take care of your other kids. They said, you know, if he wakes up, probably he's going to be a vegetable. He's not going to remember anybody. He's not going to, you know, they said there probably just isn't going to be anything there.
What happened next, no one expected. After nearly 3 months in a coma, Stetzen Stoddard woke up. Even more remarkable, mentally, Stetzen is the same as he was before the accident, but signals from Stetzen's brain no longer travel to his limbs, meaning he had to relearn how to do everything.
In the heart, in the world, I will within a human.
The doctors and that said that he would gain in his first year what he would gain, and that would be it. And his first year was the slowest year he had. And he's gained every year since for the last 11 years.
I have my eye alone, my anywhere. I mean, I have even me doing, I can't do it no more. And then
He was at the top of his game. Life was great. Anything he ever wanted was happening at the time he got hurt. I think it'd been really easy to just lay down and say die and forget it, but he has worked and worked, and we're pretty lucky as a family.
You know, you think when you're young, or when your children are young and they first learn to walk, well, it's quite a thing when they learn to walk a second time.
Stetzen's progress over the last 11 years has baffled doctors, slowly regaining the ability to speak and walk. But perhaps his proudest moment came when he was able to get back up on a horse and ride.
when horse. I feel like I can do anything I need
To have an accident just shut him off of everything that he wanted to do. Just being able to ride a saddle horse pretty gratifying.
Though he improves every day, the severity of his injury means Stetzen had to forget his dream of being a world champion. But the rodeo world wouldn't forget its fallen cowboy.
Yeah, I gave him one of my go-around buckles. I won, I think it was the 7th round I gave him. He come up on stage with me, and we got back behind stage, and I gave him my belt buckle from that round, and I told him that. I'm going to have a lot of opportunities to keep going with my career and win more buckles, but to give him just a little taste of the NFR and that buckle and wear that buckle proud, which I know he does, is just an honor to do that for him.
my man, mainly. If you love me, I only want to.
It's a miracle. One word. Medically, he was never to do what he's done. You know, God performed a miracle.
I think anyone said, I'm the enemy, I'll ever be on him. But I love him, I can, and I'm with her every day. So, I'll either be or I'm not man.
And he is a living, walking miracle. He is a living example of the cowboy way with a